Well, good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana Weather. Thanks for logging on to the latest long range update. It is Friday, the 3rd of July, 2015. And look at this. Got radar pulled up here. Is it hard to believe that there are more storms around the area? Man, we can't buy a dry day around here anymore, can we? Well, I've got a couple of what I think are going to be reasonably dry days coming up as we look at the extended forecast. But by and large, plenty of rain chances are still coming into play. Multiple flash flood warnings across the area this afternoon with just these training storms coming over it. And of course, what we really don't need anymore is any of this rain. But as I sort of widen this out, you can see just widely scattered stuff across the area, and that's really going to continue at least through the early evening hours before it starts to taper off then. We're sponsored today by Welps Farm and Greenhouse. Visit them on the web, welpsfarmandgreenhouse.com. Most of us have probably got our gardens planted right now, folks, but they have a lot more than just garden needs out there. Besides all of your garden needs, they also offer willow tree angels, rhythm clocks, handmade wind chimes, handmade wooden toy tractors. They have 1/64th scale hard-to-find toy tractors as well. Located in Birdseye, Indiana, give them a call, 326-2709, and tell them Southern Indiana Weather sent you. All right, well, let's just start off. How much precipitation have we had over, say, the past... 30 days or so. And well, it's just an absolute tremendous. This is observed precipitation of what we have seen over the 30-day period ending here this morning. And what you can see is literally just the southwest corner here of Indiana has been hammered with rain. Northern Indiana has as well, but all of us have had a decent amount of rain. Many of us have had 12 to 15 inches over the past course of the month, and I know just even on Friday alone, the area around Patoka Lake had about 6 inches with a major flood going on, and of course that may not be reflected very well in here. You can kind of see a tiny dot on the map that reflects that of greater than 18 right in there, right around the lake now. And of course that's how insane of an amount of precipitation is that for us? Well, here we go. Greater than 200% of what we should have received in the past 30 days. So it gives you an idea. We are close to approaching what we should be at a normal year for precipitation already in July. Just to put that into perspective. And then we've got several more months to go. Well, let's time it out here on future radar. Here we go. Here's the storms this afternoon, and you can see they sort of pop up as we head toward the evening hours. Notice, though, that they should dissipate a little bit. By the time you go into your Independence Day, it looks like tomorrow the best we could hope for is something isolated, and really for Sunday as well. I think pretty much it'll be 2 dry days. Better chances more, though, on Saturday, late Sunday evening as a low sort of slides off away from us and down to our south. I'm thinking that we'll probably miss out on the precipitation on that. But never fear, though, we've got plenty of active times coming ahead as we look at the latest GFS model and just put it into motion. Oh yeah, you see a couple of dry days here. Here's Sunday afternoon, and it looks like we pretty well stayed dry on Sunday and most of Monday for that matter as well. But by the time you move into Monday night and then into Tuesday, we got more rain on the way. And really, as I just continue to put the model here into motion, you can see really as far as the eye can see, just rain chance after rain chance. And yeah, we might get a little bit of a break in the action here and there, but by and large, plenty of rain chances coming along. How much rain could we be talking about? Depends on the model. If you look at the GFS, it's saying maybe a couple of inches continue to be possible over the next 10 days or so. If you're looking at another one of the models here, you can see, well, up to 4 inches could be potentially possible there again. So wide amounts of variation here, but you get the idea. A very rainy pattern coming ahead. Now, temperature-wise, still no 90s from the way things look. We're kind of cool today. We're up to around 81 right now, so that's a little bit more than progged here by the models. But you can see a slow warming trend, but really if 87, 88 is about as high as we get, we really can't complain. It looks like no 90s still in sight for around the area. And let's dive into the reasons why for that. Well, take a look at our old friend, the MJO, the Madden-Julian oscillation. Haven't pulled this out in a while. We looked at this over the winter time because it does affect some of our snowfall forecasts here, but it affects precipitation for us in general. I won't go into all the technical details and bore you of it here, but right now we're in anything outside the circle here is what would be considered a strong MJO. And whenever you have a strong MJO, it can become one of the dominant driving factors in your weather. Well, we're in a very strong phase 6, entering actually into a very strong phase 7 now, and then all of these, the the green line here is what sort of the mean, the average of what the models are showing. All of these yellow lines here are different ensemble members, different members of a forecast model of what could happen. But you can see we're going to be sticking in a very strong MJO for a good little while, and in fact there are hints it may come back into a strong MJO on the other side. So what does this mean? Well, we've coming out of a strong 5 and 6 and into a 7. What does that mean temperature wise? Here's what it typically means for JJA, June, July, August time frame, which we are in right now. Well, we're in a strong phase 7, and take a look right here. That leads to cooler than normal temperatures across the area, as did a 6. That's why we haven't had 90s for a while. Once we got out of a 5, which we were kind of on the border here of a little bit warmer than normal, we started to get out of the 90s. Well, what about precipitation? Well, notice a strong phase 7. We're kind of on the border here between wetter than normal and drier than normal. And so it's sort of the battle zone for this type of period. But what you can see is it's going to be active. And so cooler than normal and precipitation, we're kind of on that border where we could go either way. But I can assure you plenty of chances will be coming because the tropics are absolutely cooking. One of the other things that we have to look at besides the MJO index is what kind of hurricanes and tropical storms and typhoons do we have, especially out brewing in the Pacific, because that directly affects our weather. Once those storms recurve, head to the north, there's kinks into the jet stream and those dips come down over us, and it's just like a train of pain coming over with wave after wave of rainmakers. So what do? Well, we have multiple storms. Here's Tropical Storm Chan-Ham. Here's Philippines. Right over here, Japan, not the Philippines. Philippines are down here where the models take it. The models take it and pretty much recurve it back. That will affect us at some point in time. We could take a look at Tropical Storm Lingfeng right here. And again, here's the predicted forecast. Going to be recurving. Here's what the models say about it. Again, it sort of ends up recurving. Eventually, that will continue to affect us. Here's a tropical depression that has not become a hurricane, or what we would call a hurricane yet, but it will eventually. In fact, it's progged to reach up to 105 knots in its top speed, top wind, and here you go. And eventually, some of the models want to take it to recurve. We'll see whether this thing recurves or not. But again, that will affect our weather coming on down the line. Another tropical cyclone, Tropical Cyclone Raquel. And you can see this booger is eventually going to recurve and come back up as well. And this isn't the only one. We could take a look at just these. This is an invest. This is an area that they are looking at to see for development. And again, it looks like it's going to come on again. Now, why does that matter? Well, it matters because of something we call the typhoon rule. Typhoon rule says that once you have a typhoon start on its recurve past Japan, move up here towards Alaska and towards the Gulf of Alaska, about 6 to 10 days later, it affects our weather up here. What it does is it interacts with the jet stream, and to put it in non-technical language for you, it basically jacks the jet stream up, and it throws kinks into it, which is the dips that you see in the jet stream. Those come over us, and those little short waves that come over us end up bringing storm systems with it, and so it creates what we would basically say is a very active weather pattern. When we have the tropics cooking out there like this, and we have multiple storms like this, you can expect that it's going to be a nonstop let up of storms. And that doesn't mean every day will be rainy, but it means there'll be plenty of days that we're going to have rain, and probably more than what we don't. So that's not good whenever you've already got a past month that had 10 to 15 plus inches around the area. Will July come even close to the amount of rain? It's sure starting off that way, isn't it? Again, just take a look at radar and see all the flash flood warnings that we've got going on around the area. Folks, this is the kind of weather that is going to be continuing. So let's go ahead and take a look at your 10-day forecast. Go to southernindianaweather.com, click on 10-day forecast. Here you go for your Independence Day, folks. Around 82 for your high. Again, I think everything will be very isolated tomorrow, and that'll be... We'll be lucky if we get anything. And I probably going to see more of a partly sunny sky than anything. An occasional storm or two might pop up out there, but again, very isolated. Sunday and Monday, they'll look pretty nice as we go back into the mid-80s. We don't see any scattered storms start to move into the forecast, though, until Monday night. And then the rain comes again. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Maybe we get a break for the next Saturday, but then Sunday, Monday. Again, more days in the 10-day forecast have rain in them than what do not. Again, a very active weather pattern coming up. So I know we don't need the rain. Patoka Lake's already at its maximum around the area. So are a lot of the other streams and things as well. You can expect multiple flash flood warnings to come up as we continue to getting rain. Active rain just continues. Active weather forecast just continues. It's one of those things that we're just going to have to deal with, folks. No end in sight at this point. On the positive side, though, hey, it can always be worse. We don't have 90s to deal with, so we don't have the typical summer heat to deal with, but we do have the rain, so I suppose it's a trade-off. Folks, that's it for this update. I'm meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Thanks for watching the forecast. Happy Independence Day to you. Happy birthday to America, and we'll see you next time.